Hi, this is John Barnes, and you're listening to Kop On.
And now you're going to believe us 20 times, 20 beautiful times. And the first time since 1990 that Liverpool got to celebrate, or have got, I'm going to use the present perfect, that we have got to celebrate this particularly beautiful day in which we've become league champions for the 20th time. And I'm so happy, as is Shane, as is Nigel. And I celebrate like, I've got some water. I had a cup of tea. I celebrate in the Bob Paisley style because I gave up alcohol 6 years ago. And I hope that if you drink alcohol, that you are having an absolute whale of a time. And if you don't, like me, you're also having a whale of a time because the whales are big, the whales are red, and it's 20 times. Shane, how are you going to celebrate this beautiful, beautiful, beautiful day?
Well, Owen, thank you so much for having me on, and hello, Nigel. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I mean, how do we even begin the celebration? I feel like this is the start for me. I feel like this is, hanging up the flag behind me. This took some time, but I feel like the celebration is only now just begun. But also, we've kind of been celebrating for a few weeks now. I mean, at least I have. We've been the crowds have been cheering. We're going to win the league. Now you're going to believe us. So yeah, I mean, it's so crazy. But yeah, I'm just so happy to share this time with you all and just talk. And yeah, I was thinking about tea as well. So far, I've just done the caffeine, maybe a little bit too much caffeine, but I will try to take you up on the tea.
I mean, how much is too much? Because I've had 6 large cups of coffee today.
Yeah, I'm probably somewhere around there. Really, I should take your advice about not drinking for 6 years because I had a little bit too much soju last night at a friend's birthday party. So really, I've been desiring the sobriety that you've been feeling for some time.
Well, I tell you what, not having a hangover for 6 years has been beautiful. I may not have had the highs of soju or some exotic alcohol that I haven't even heard of, but I definitely don't get the lows, which is absolutely much better for my soul and body. But everybody's different, and I hope that whoever you are, wherever you are, you've been, chowing down or drinking, quaffing, if you will, as much of the joy as you possibly can from life itself. Nigel is here. Nigel, how are you celebrating? How are you feeling? I mean, do you have any? Sorry, go on, answer that, and then I'll ask you the next question.
Well, Owen has a cup. Shane has a cup. Nigel has a cup.
Yes. Nigel, for the audio listeners, is hoisting his own Premier League trophy, which has got blue ribbons on it, which I've already told him that he needs to change, which no doubt he will now that they've handed it over.
Yeah, it's not mine. It's belonged to a friend of mine, Billy Ryan in Kilkenny, and I'd like to thank Billy for the loan of it. Yeah, incredible. I was with my friends today. I couldn't be with them the last time we won it in 2020, but I was with them today, and some of you already might have seen the pictures that I posted on the group. And yeah, it was just sensational. We've been by far and away the best team. It's like a well-kept secret, but everybody knew about it anyway. It's just I know we went behind today, but after that, it was just we were fantastic. We were really, really good. We showed what champions are made of again, like we've been doing all season. So it's just a great day. It was a little bit of a downer when Spurs scored, all right, but sure, we just keep going.
I mean, various thoughts went through my head. One of them was LOL, all three of those, but because it was quite comical to me that Dominic Solanke scored. Then, of course, I did entertain the idea that Ange and his boys, his band of merry men, or quite dismally depressed men, if we're honest, were going to, keep the cork in the champagne for another week. But most of me, that was just a fleeting thought. And then afterwards, I was like, we're going to come back. And Nigel, that's the thing about this team. Like you say, we played like champions all season. We've got to give them so much credit because we so expect us to react in the perfect way every time we concede a goal, which is rare because there's a great stat from LFC TV that I heard after the win, which is that under Arne Slot, we normally score the first goal in 70% of our matches, compared to Jurgen Klopp's team last year, which scored the first goal only 55%. So 45% of the time we were conceding the first goal last season. This time we're scoring the first goal. It didn't work. Today we conceded the first goal. It was a rare event. It was a bit of a surprise. But we knew, at least I did, and a lot of the other fans I've spoken to about this already, we knew already, didn't we, Nigel, that these boys are going to react in the right way.
If you watched after they scored and the cameras went back on to our players walking out of our box, going up to the halfway line, and everybody looked mad. They looked upset. And it was just, all right, you want to try and do that, do you? So, okay, hang on there now a second. We'll you can have that little one just, and then now, hang on to your hats, because here comes the storm now.
And I sense that was the case in the crowd as well, right? I mean, the crowd seemed to like react.
You could hear it.
Right.
You could hear it. Yeah. You could hear it. Yeah. Straight away, the chant went up, Liverpool, Liverpool, Liverpool. You could hear it building straight away. Once the goal went in, all right, you've had your fun. That's it. Game over.
I mean, it was absolutely incredible. I mean, the power of Anfield. What would you have given to be there, Shane? I mean, at one point the ball was moving when McAllister was trying to take a corner, and I swear it was just the noise of the crowd. It was the spirits that live inside Anfield that was moving that ball.
Oh yeah, absolutely. No, to answer your question, what wouldn't I have given? Like that was a tremendous day at Anfield, and I would have given quite a lot to be there. But yeah, that was a fun moment whenever but then it ends up turning into a goal. So I mean, yeah, the wind, the crowd, everything could move it as much as you want. It was upsetting for Dominic Solanke to get the first goal, but it almost felt like, and if you'll bear with me, like in a movie, whenever there's like a fortune teller and she gives some sort of prophecy, some fortune, and Dominic Solanke, you will score a goal at Anfield when Liverpool wins the Premier League title, but like not the way that you think it'll end up happening. And so it just felt like all those sorts of things, like you said, the spirits were coming.
Absolutely. Yes, they were. The spirits were flying. This is great. So yeah, I mean, Spurs got the first goal, a bit jammy. But I want to talk about you individually, actually. Shane, staying with you. Do you have any superstitions? Have you had any superstitions if you think about all season long? Because I have too. In that every time I bought a particular mixed nut mix, we would win from the local supermarket. And each time I didn't, it tells you how many mixed nuts I've had this season. Each time I forgot to buy the mixed nuts, we either drew or lost. So I made sure I got an extra packet today. And, lo and behold, we went 5-1. That's one superstition. And number two was my cursed, absolutely jinxed FPL team, Fantasy Premier League team. For example, I transferred in, the latest move was transferring in Mohamed Salah, where I hadn't even realised I'd transferred out because my memory's so bad. And he went on a 4-game streak where he didn't score or assist. And that has been happening with all of my players all season. But I've been working it. So whenever Arsenal had a big game, I'd bring in Odegaard, I'd bring in Martinelli, and they would lose. Lo and behold, Man City, I've had Man City players in my team all season. And I swear, man, I'm not taking all the credit for number 20, but I've done my bit. Have you had any superstitions like that, Shane?
Well, I definitely think you deserve a statue at Anfield, because by and large, no, we owe so much to you. No, I do. Here's the thing is I actually do. I want to say that I don't, but coming from even like the Texas background, baseball is such a big thing, and superstition is so big in baseball, especially in Texas. And so for me, if you'll see, if I can get my leg up, my socks, I have these candy cane striped socks that I always wear. And then typically, as you know, I like to go to the Liverpool Supporters Club here in Los Angeles. But lately, whenever I do show up, we don't get a good result. And the last time I showed up was the EFL Cup final, Carabao Cup final against Newcastle. And so then if I just stay home with the dogs, so far most of the season that's equal to win. So I decided, let's stay home, let's do this. And then this was going to be the cherry on top, this podcast, this time spent with you all. basking in the glory.
That's amazing. That's so good. So I mean, I've had my mixed nuts. I transferred in all of the right players that we wanted to lose to my FPL team, and Shane's got his lucky socks, and he stayed at home with the dogs. What about you, Nigel? Have you had any superstitions this season?
Not really, no. I just like to say my favorite.
One sensible person amongst us.
My favourite mixed nuts are the ones at Old Trafford and the Emirates. Great. Yeah. No, I said to you before we came on, I went to the pub today to see my friends, and I haven't seen them. I haven't seen some of them. I haven't seen them as a collective, maybe for about 4 years. We couldn't celebrate together the last time. I walked in the pub. It was a little bit late because I had to do something here first. It was about 4:15 when I walked in. It was 15 minutes before kickoff, and the first question I got asked was, "Did you get any sleep last night?" That's the first question I was asked. I said, "What are you talking about? You got any sleep with this going on?" I said, "Yeah." It's just the lads are used to me being, kind of being a fairly what's the word? I've been a Liverpool fan for a long time, and they all know kind of it means everything. So, yeah, just to be there today with the lads, and you saw the cup there, and I got some pictures taken with that after the game. It was brilliant, and I brought it down to another friend of mine. There's another friend of mine. He would have been the brother-in-law of a good friend of mine who passed away in 2007. And he took a picture of the trophy with my friend's picture. So yeah, it was good. I might, while I still have it, bring it up to my friend's grave. And we did it the last time, but we just put it down and took a picture beside his headstone. So I might do that maybe tomorrow.
Yeah, do that. Absolutely.
He was a good guy, big Liverpool fan, good friend of mine. Yeah.
Wonderful.
So,
and what was his name?
John Boy Connick. He was 33 when he died. I think he had ataxia, is what the name. I think he had is kind of a motor neuron type disease, and he had it for a long time, and it was very sad, very, very sad. I remember we did a guard of honour from his funeral. There was, I think, there was about 10 of us, and we all wearing Liverpool jerseys, and we all threw scarves into the grave at the end. And even his sister said to us afterwards that was the real heartbreaking moment when we threw our scarves into the grave. So he was a good guy. I was down with his brother-in-law this evening, and his sister wasn't there, but just to be down there this evening, took a few pictures with the cup, and so it was nice. I used to go down there for a few games as well, so hopefully get down for a few more at some stage. But yeah, just to celebrate with people who are like yourself, who are big fans, and I really enjoyed the day. I have to say, it was great.
I mean, that's beautiful. Thank you for sharing all that. That's incredible, and it does, for me, illustrate what this club is. In a sense, to so many people, it goes beyond just something simple that on paper, it's just a game, which of course it is. Of course, there is that side of it, but then there is also the other side of it, which is that it really means a lot to so many people across this entire globe. And it's like when any of us go to the next dimension, wherever that may be, if there is one, and maybe I think I would, and I imagine you two would, and some of the listeners would as well. We'd love someone to put a Liverpool scarf or something to go with us to the next realm, if we can, because that's what this club means. That's what football means. But there is this special bond, I think, between Liverpool fans that you'll never walk alone. And I'm sure that John Boy is smiling is with the widest smile in any dimension that he may be in now, because it's just a really emotional day. And thank you for sharing that. I mean, this club is is very special for bringing people together. And I love that. But yeah, I mean, I don't really want to talk about the game itself, because if we can talk about moments. I mean, I'd love to, actually. It depends how long you guys have got, because I've got a long time. I've got a lot to get off my chest. But I mean, McAllister's goal, for example. Good God. We can start wherever you want. You go wherever you want. But I want to talk about minutes, okay? Because where else are you going to celebrate apart from with time itself? And minutes on the pitch. There were 3 players who have played every single league game for us this season: Gravenberch, Virgil van Dijk, and Mo Salah. Shane, of those 3, choose one, and we'll talk about them.
Mohamed Salah. You don't even need to give me another minute, another second to decide. Yeah, I mean, I was so excited to get his goal today. I mean, obviously, we wanted more goals. We wanted more assists. We want to see him break all of those personal records that he's going for. But yeah, I mean, we could go on and on and on. I mean, how could you sum up the season that he's had? It was nice to see him. Now that it's coming to me, it was nice to see him smiling so much. I know he's always smiling, and they call him the smiling assassin. But just to see how like happy and like how much he let himself enjoy the day. It seemed like he was enjoying it, especially when during Bob Marley's "Don't Worry About a Thing," everything, little thing is going to be all right. Yeah, and the fact that he's singing along, it just felt like he was really, really enjoying himself.
I mean, it really did. And in terms of this season, I mean, phenomenal. 28 goals. I lose count. 18 assists in the Premier League, something like that. 17, 18, something like that. I mean, signs that there were some signs of perhaps a little bit of a slowdown. I don't know, but then today he was absolutely supreme, wasn't he, Shane?
Yes, absolutely. Dangerous from the start. You felt like that he was going to score. He was creating chances. Yeah, you even thought that if even at the end he could have gotten another one from Darwin Nunez from a pass. So during that breakaway, but yeah, I mean, Nigel, how would you sum up the season that Mohamed Salah has had so far?
I'd sum him up as an all-time Premier League footballer. If we're picking a team of an all-time 11 for Premier League, Mo Salah's in it. Like I said, 28 goals. Some people were picking out goals earlier on, and I remember we did a podcast on the Brighton game, and we were watching the highlights. I picked out that when we were watching our winning goal, and he was going running at Estupiñán, and Estupiñán started off with his back turned to the Kop. Mo went one way, Estupiñán half turned, then Mo turned him again, and his number was facing the Anfield Road end, and then Mo turned him again, and his number was facing the Kop again. If you get somebody turning like that, you're not going to get a great result out of that. So I think, let's see, Mo Salah had the Premier League in a whirl. How about that?
Absolutely. And this season as well, I mean, 30 goals. He's hit 30 goals in all competitions for the 5th time in 7 years, or the 5th time in 8 years, I believe. And the other 2, he got like 23 and 27 goals, something like that. With 30 goals in 5 of 8 from the right wing. That moment today when he took the selfie, actually he took one after as well, but after scoring, he took someone's phone and took a selfie. The Egyptian king. There was something before in terms of the tactics. It was Michael Owen, who, despite being, someone who you wouldn't want to, particularly spend too much time with, he's very good at analysis. And he, excuse me, I think Faye's going to join us. He's going to jump in. But Mohamed Salah, hang on. Let's just bring Faye in here. This is a great time to bring someone in. Excellent stuff. Yes.
Faye.
There you go. Are you there, Faye? Still connecting, maybe. The internet is still loading up, but that's okay. So yeah, Mohamed Salah. Let me see if I can bring up Mohamed Salah. There you go. That image there. That's iconic. I mean, he just did that like 2 hours ago, 3 hours ago as we're recording this. Is that moment where he just takes a selfie in front of the Kop, having scored an open play goal for the first time in 10 matches. and it's joy, and he knows. I mean, that was goal number 4. That was 4-1, and that was really. It was just like it was to start the party. I suppose the party was already in full swing. It's like you're at a party. It's great, and then something happens that just takes the party to the next level. Where I can't believe they've actually got a bouncy castle or whatever takes your party to the next level. Whatever that may be. For me, it would be banana bread. Someone brings out the banana bread, and that's the vibe. But that's just my love of banana bread. Anyway, what am I on about? Let's talk about the players. Mohamed Salah, one of the 3 players this season to have played all of the matches, all of the league matches, and it's absolutely phenomenal that he's managed that, and again, and him signing on, Shane. I haven't got your thoughts about that. Him signing on for an extra 2 years. What do you think?
Oh yeah, no, I'm extremely excited about that, but I'm also extremely excited that Faye has just joined us. Are you there, Faye?
Yeah, I think she's got a problem with her microphone. Maybe.
Oh, okay, I see. Because I thought I heard her talk for a second, so I was trying to welcome her in and get her thoughts as well.
Oh,
but yeah, but no, going back to your question, the 2-year extension. Oh my gosh, I'm just as excited about that, if not more, than the Premier League trophy. It's truly something I was feeling so much anxiety about that I just wanted to get over the line. And honestly, I think I've said before on this podcast, it was the dark cloud that had been hovering over this very bright season. And so I was just so over the moon that it had been completed.
So yeah, Faye is here.
Yay!
Yes. Hi, guys. I'm sorry. Great. I'm in a hotel room because I'm in London, but I just wanted to just join the party for 5-10 minutes.
Excellent stuff, and you're more than welcome. Excellent stuff. You're in a hotel in London, and then you're going to go out celebrating?
Yes, absolutely. There's loads of Liverpool fans in London. Absolutely. Yeah.
Where did you watch the game?
Sorry, I watched it in West Hampstead.
Okay. At a friend's house or?
No, there was people with a restaurant and they had the big screen up. So that was lovely. Very nice.
Awesome. Yeah. How was the atmosphere?
Great. Absolutely. Yeah, everybody's happy. It was, it's great. We expected it, but it's there now, and the boys are really happy. You could see how much it meant to all of them because it's just incredible. Yeah,
that release of like celebrating in front of fans. I mean, you could see it on everyone's face. It's just this incredible thing where finally all the fans have got to celebrate in front of the players, and the players with the fans. That connection, that bond.
Well, look at that Mo Salah image that you've got up. That said it all for me. That was amazing to do that on live TV. I mean, that's probably gone viral. That shot.
Absolutely. And
I'm just wondering, can I get a reaction to something?
Yes. Wow.
And Nigel's, for the audio listeners, Nigel's lifting up his Premier League trophy again. There you go.
Gosh, what is that made of?
Resin, I think.
Wow. Gosh, you were you were sure about it then?
Belonged to a friend of mine. I had it the last time I had a loan of it the last time we won it as well. And he just gave me a loan of it for a few days. So.
Fantastic. So where did you guys all watch it?
Well, I was at home. I got myself a projector. But then after getting myself a projector for my birthday a few months ago, it's only €100, and I realized I don't have a TV to plug my any projector into, and B, that I haven't got any white walls to project onto apart from the ceiling in my bedroom. So what I've done is I've got a Fire Stick that you can plug into the back, and I've been watching the footy projected onto the ceiling. So I'm just lying back in bed, and I tell you what, it's the most relaxing way to watch Liverpool. I'm still a bag of nerves, but like my jelliness when I watch Liverpool is completely cushioned by the lovely comfortable bed.
But today, Owen, was the day, wasn't it? This is what we've been waiting for all season. The way they played today was incredible. Oh my God, McAllister in the midfield, blimey!
All 3 of them in midfield, they were absolutely terrific. Gravenberch was insane. And we just made them look like children, didn't we? We were just,
But that's the performance we've been actually waiting for. They've only done it about 3 or 4 times this season.
Absolutely. But that's credit to them. And this is the thing, so one question I'd like to ask you, Faye, is, the way we've done it this year, time and time again, I've gone back over the old Kop On episodes to listen back to this season to sort of prepare, because I had the question, when did we start saying on Kop On that we're going to win the league? And the answer is the 11th of November.
Wow.
We were first talking about it then as a distinct possibility, because that was a day where we went 5 points clear, and we were both talking. We were all talking that day of we're the best team in the country, aren't we?
Yeah.
And we are. But in terms of today was a massive performance, as you say, Faye. But so many times this season we've done just enough. We've won by 1 goal, or there's been a moment like against West Ham or Leicester or whatever, where just just a big moment in a game that's got us the win, or we've fought back like we did with 10 men against Fulham to get a draw when they were winning. And it's just the resilience that has got us over the line in so many games, as opposed to just wiping the floor with them like we did with Tottenham today. So I wonder, Faye, is this something that we're going to get used to? It's just the fact that we're just super resilient and we're just going to keep grinding out the results? Or are we going to strengthen in the summer and have even more performances like
definitely.
today?
I think,
season?
we're going to strengthen in the summer. And I would just like to see them play like this. Obviously, Trent back helped, because he does. We know that.
Absolutely.
So we're going to have to find a Trent type of player to play in his position, because we know Bradley is not Trent. He doesn't play like Trent. But yeah, he was good today, Trent, as well. I mean, honestly, we went 1 goal down because we're not very good at set pieces, are we? When the opposition take them, that's our Achilles heel. And I just thought, oh my God, I know they're going to score. And yes, they scored. But do you know what? I wasn't worried. I knew that we'd probably score 3 or 4 today, because we started off really well. Yeah. Yeah,
we did indeed. And it was a great match. It was really good fun. To get the equaliser, I get confused about the goals. Like, my memory's awful, but it was Luis Diaz with the equaliser, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And it was with the pass from Mo Salah to Szoboszlai, who wasn't offside, which was excellent. And it's so good to have automated offside, because it's like, okay, it's the same for everyone, and that's what we want, isn't it? It's consistent. Either he's off.
Yeah.
If he's not, he's not. Then that's great. So yeah, it was just from that moment of 1-1, it was like, okay, even and yeah, McAllister's goal was my favourite. Did you have a favourite goal, Faye?
Yeah, Macca's, that was incredible. The whole build up to it. It wasn't just the goal, was it? It was the build up and the way he took that. Oh my God. And we were saying, not last week, the week before, we want more goals for Macca.
You're absolutely right.
And left-footed.
Yes.
Left-footed, yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Was that your favourite goal as well, Nigel?
Yeah, it was. It was just... It's great to see just a pure strike. The first goal was well worked. Most of the goals were well worked. But that, when you see a pure strike, just someone who can just, like, either foot, hit a ball. I mean, the keeper didn't even see it. He was diving, token gesture. It just, what a hit. What a player he is. Like, 35 million, and he's just World Cup winner, Premier League winner, easily one of the best midfielders in the world. Gets no credit. Gets kicked around the place. He really does. Comes into some really. Now that's probably because other teams are recognising how good he is, and we've got to try and slow him down by trying to take him out.
I think in the last 3 games he has definitely he's just woken up. Nigel, I don't know if you were on the week when we said, wow, what a game he had. He was our man of the match, and he's just getting better and better. Yeah, he feels at home now, I think.
What I would say, you were talking about the 3 players that have played all the games on. Well, I just want to refer to Ryan Gravenberch. I think if we get a 6 next year and we play Ryan Gravenberch in a slightly more forward position and Macca in the position he normally plays, his best position, that's the... Apart from people who are saying we need a right back, we need a left back, we need a centre forward, we need another centre half just to fit in. We need a 6. We need somebody who's just going to sit in behind and allow Ryan Gravenberch, Dominic Szoboszlai to do what they do, and then Maka will just fit in around that because that's what he does. So that's it. That's it for me.
I mean, go on, Faye.
Did you notice that Trent had a bit of freedom today?
Absolutely. I mean, that's partly Spurs' tactics. I mean, it was or lack of. If you noticed how Ange sets them up is basically it's 1 versus 1 man marking kind of thing. So all it takes is a little drop of the shoulder in our sort of defensive third. And we've got so many players who can do it. Gravenberch, even Ibu dropped a shoulder today and beat a couple of players and opened up the space. And then suddenly you've got the 4-on-4 that led to Mo Salah's goal with when Szoboszlai was bursting through, because it just takes one person to beat the press. And then they're wide open, absolutely wide open. So yeah, I love the fact how Trent.
If you got Maddison in the midfield as well, if you look at Maddison, no pace. Now Maka mightn't be the paciest in the world, but the other two are. Gravenberch and Szoboszlai would push through, like you said. Particularly Gravenberch on the half turn, which we've talked about ad infinitum this season. Gravenberch on the half turn is one of the best sights I've seen this season. That's a major highlight for me. If you're talking about major highlights, is Ryan Gravenberch on the half turn. Absolutely exceptional.
Couldn't agree more. Shane, talking about McAllister or Gravenberch. I mean, Maka, there have been rumours of him going to Real Madrid. We've got to tie him down on a massive contract, don't we? Surely.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, without a doubt, especially with the form that he's coming into. I remember initially at the beginning of the season that we had remarked that Slot had changed. He had swapped basically the position from Klopp, that Klopp had set Gravenberch more forward and then put Maka in the position of the 6. And we had remarked how instantly in that switch, Gravenberch was already doing better. And now it seems like Maka has completely solidified his spot in the starting lineup with that position in the midfield. And so yeah, I definitely think we need to sign him to a contract and extend it. Not only that, but I definitely think we need to get our contract business sorted. Like just the way that we go about things in general with all contracts there's some sort of protocol needs to be established, so that way we don't have a repeat of this year, which by the way, I heard on the NBC coverage, Stephen Warnock believes that Trent Alexander-Arnold, he's hopeful. He said that Trent might actually end up staying. What do you all make of that?
Oh man, I've been giving this a hell of a lot of thought. I've been little bits of insomnia have crept in. I think it's the nerves leading up to today and finally getting over the line. Who knows what it is? But I've been waking up at...
Who did William say said that? Sorry, William?
It was Shane. It's not William. Sorry, William's his display name because he's stolen his dad's computer when his dad wasn't working.
Sorry, Shane.
William is my legal first name and it's on my Google account. Shane's my middle name. It's a family tradition. We all go by our middle name. So hi, Faye. It's Shane, the same Shane that you always have spoken to before.
Yes. Okay.
But yeah, now we have the display name, and I don't know how to change it. I need to figure that out.
So you said that. Who said that?
Stephen Warnock, the former Liverpool player on the NBC sports broadcast. Yeah, and he also used to be on LFC TV Go.
Yes,
I used to really like him when he was on, but now he's getting bigger and better, and he does so well at commentary. But he said he's hopeful that Trent might actually stay. He's saying that his body language seems to have changed recently over the past few weeks.
Wow. I have some thoughts on this. First of all, Stephen Warnock doesn't know anything. He's just guessing. But second of all, he's got a good point, because if you're Trent, you've got to be mad to want to go to Madrid. I understand all of the arguments, or believe me, I've been up at 3 a.m. and the flat has been silent until 6:30, 7 a.m. and I've spent 3 hours staring at my ceiling with the projector off, thinking about the pros and cons of Madrid. The pros are many. The food, the Bernabeu, playing in this beautiful stadium, your teammates are pretty good at footy, the weather. The pros are many of going to play in Madrid. You've got a great chance of winning the Champions League. Of course you do. But the cons are many. And it boils down to this for me, the most persuasive argument I can think of. And it's one that I actually tried to very ambitiously sway Trent's mind with on Twitter by atting him. And I'm sure he read it and he's keeping him up at night, staring at his ceiling. But it was simply this. There's a wonderful photo of Trent after scoring against Leicester with his left foot to win the game last week, 1-0. And he's celebrating, and he's very small in the picture. And all you can see are just the crowd, the away crowd at Leicester Stadium going absolutely mental with love and joy. And Trent is going mental with love and joy. And he rips off his shirt and he's celebrating in front of them. That was against Leicester City, okay? Leicester City are 19th in the Premier League. I looked at La Liga. Leganés are 19th in La Liga. And my question for Trent is, if you're going to score a goal to win the game 1-0 for Madrid against Leganés, what's the feeling going to be like, Trent? Because it's not going to be the same as doing it for Liverpool. And that's the thing that I think Trent would be mad to lose, the fact that every game counts when he's playing for his hometown club and you know, in a league where he knows and a club that he clearly loves, whether he's swayed by Madrid or not. So that's what he's set to lose. Hey, what do you reckon?
Yeah, I mean, that celebration was absolutely wonderful from him, and the goal was sublime, but he didn't kiss the badge, Owen. He didn't.
Well, he didn't have a badge. He chucked his top off.
No, but he had the shirt
I know what you
on
mean.
when he
I know what you
scored,
mean.
and he could have, you know, like Van Dijk,
he
and
could have
then
done.
he didn't do that, and that told me then, because he would have kissed the badge because he's a Scouser, and that would have meant more to us seeing that, because you know what they say about kissing the badge and then waving goodbye, and he couldn't do that. So I think that was the sign for me that he's definitely gone, and that was his farewell goal. Yeah,
I know what you mean, but there's a part of me that just thinks, well, you know, he hasn't actually signed yet, and Steven Gerrard might have at some various points with his move to Chelsea thought, right, I'm definitely going. You know, I tried to pass the ball to Mark Gonzalez and he fell over. You know, I'm getting out of this team. I'm going to go and play with Claude Makelele and the Chelsea and Hernan Crespo and these kind of players. And you would have understood it, really. You know, I'm sure in certain points in his head, but then at the last minute, it was a conversation with his father, wasn't it? And his father said, well, you've just got to make a decision for who you are. And then he thought about it and he was like, oh, I've got to sign for Liverpool. I've got to stay with Liverpool. And I think Trent might be in a similar position. What do you reckon, Nigel?
I'm trying not to think about too much really, because like, we don't know. Nobody knows. Just let it happen. And if he goes, he goes. If he stays, he stays. Simple as that.
Well, fair enough. In that case, I'll ask you a different question, Nigel. I've got another image to share. I don't know if you saw it, but beautiful Arne Slot, took the mic and he sang Jurgen Klopp, na 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 na, to say thank you to Jurgen, and that was a beautiful thing. So Arne Slot, I want you to reflect again. We've spoken about how really blown away we've been by how wonderfully he's not just adapted to Liverpool, but made us better in his very first season. I want you to talk about something, anything you want to do with Arne.
Okay. I've got something. Okay. In 1959, the 1st of December 1959, Bill Shankly joined Liverpool. In 1974, he left. Bob Paisley came. We were a decent team at the time. We had won the FA Cup under Bob Paisley against Newcastle. Under Bill Shankly, sorry. And Bob came in and it just stayed going. The difference between Liverpool Football Club and other clubs, when Alex Ferguson left Manchester United, he didn't leave a good team there. That team is still suffering. People are always going on about this. Oh, Mourinho left, Chelsea went down. Wenger left, Arsenal went down. But there's a difference. It's legacy. This club means more because we had guys there, Shankly, Paisley, Fagan, Dalglish, and then we had Rafa. Like Roy Evans came in, and then Gerard Houllier came in. I want to mention Gerard Houllier as well, actually, because he did a wonderful job. He cleared out a lot of dead wood and a lot of problematic players. and revolutionised us when he came in, and we won a treble in 2001. And then Rafa came in after that, and basically, with a few additions, Xabi Alonso, Luis Garcia, a few of the Spanish guys, won a European Cup in 2005. The difference that people are not seeing is legacy. Like, people are saying, oh, Liverpool are going to suffer because Klopp left. Well, they didn't suffer because the Klopp left, because these other clubs haven't got the Liverpool attitude, haven't got the way to conduct themselves that we have. Alex Ferguson left knowing that David Moyes was on a downer, and he wasn't going to be able to do anything about the legacy, and they didn't, and still haven't. Jurgen Klopp left his legacy of a very, very good squad and good players and a clean handover to Arne Slot. And Arne Slot tinkered around a bit with the system and then paid tribute to a man who left him with an embarrassment of riches, not an embarrassment.
It's a very good point. And it's this continuity, but I think it was certainly not a given last year when Jurgen was given his final speech, and I watched it back actually earlier today. I watched back his final speech before the match, and you could see in the crowd the people when he was singing the Arne Slot song. If you watch it back, people in the crowd are like, yeah, okay. All right, Jurgen, some people are just like, okay, well, we'll go with it, we'll sing it, but you could tell their hearts weren't in it. But they believe now in Arne Slot. And I think that Richard Hughes, he gets criticised by some bizarre part of the Liverpool fan base because he didn't sign enough players or whatever. What a load of nonsense. The man's clearly made the best decision that you could possibly have, because I don't think another manager that I've seen, and I watch a fair amount of football from around the other leagues, I don't think another manager would have done as well as Arne Slot. It's easy to say that today, I guess, but because we have a good team. But the way, Faye, that he's changed the midfield, by inverting that pyramid, instead of having two attackers and one defender, he's two more defensive players and one more attacking player. The way he's revolutionised Mo Salah so that Mo Salah doesn't have to run back and knacker himself out all the time. Mo Salah is the fulcrum of our attack. He's found this balance, and we're so ruthless and hard to beat, and everything you want from a team, it comes from the manager, doesn't it?
100%. And he's I know he gets animated a little bit on the sideline, which you would when things are going against you, but on the whole, he looks a really measured and calm person. And that must rub off on the lads when they're at training, and the way he's talking to them, and the love that he's given. And particularly Van Dijk as the captain, they can speak the same language. Do you know what I mean? That must be so powerful. And I think that's one of the reasons why Van Dijk put pen to paper, because he thought, yeah, I want you to be my manager. And I just think that the team itself today was, honestly, it was just wonderful to watch. They were so relaxed. They didn't look on edge, and it was flowing football. And yes, give credit to Slot. He made a lot of changes as well today. And I think that's his strength. And I've said that before, that at 59, 60 minutes, and that's what he's done. He's done that throughout this season. He has made subs. He might have the same team starting quite a bit, but he's not afraid at 59 minutes to say, look, we need to freshen things up. And I think that's his winning formula. He's bringing on players. Today, like you said, Endo came on and he was full of it. Curtis Jones came on. Nunes could have had that opportunity. He should have gone for it rather than laying it off, but he hasn't got the confidence. He's a great manager, and the expectations for him weren't high. Even if he'd just got an FA Cup, people would have said, what a great season. To win the Prem is a different situation, but nobody was expecting. I'll put my hand up. I didn't expect him to go and win the Prem, I'll be honest. So what he's done is incredible, and he's definitely going to get Manager of the Year without a doubt.
Totally. I don't know. He's absolutely phenomenal. It's one of those achievements that we'll be thinking about for years to come, of just like, wow, how did he do that? Because the song, Shane, that people have been singing all year, the team that plays the Liverpool way and wins the championship in May, It's April, Shane. It's April and we've won it. It's not even May yet.
I know, it's quite incredible. And yeah, going back to the song, the Jurgen Klopp, the Arne Slot, the chanting for the other manager, I cannot even, it's so hard to put into words. I can't even imagine another franchise doing this in another sport. I just can't imagine the amount of love being shown to another like professional person who occupied the same job before and who took it over. Like, just the fact that it's just so, I don't know, it's just this public like love and that and humility and appreciation that is just it brings you to tears. It brought me to tears last year when Jurgen Klopp was doing it, because you're like, that is pretty incredible for all of us, because we, on that day when you bring it up, when you said you rewatched it, on that day we wanted to make the entire focus on Jurgen Klopp for the past 9 years that he had given us. We wanted it to be entirely on Jurgen Klopp, and he pointed the spotlight on Arne Slot. And then for Arne Slot to point the spotlight on Jurgen Klopp today was just, again, very moving, moves you to tears. You just start welling up and blubbering. And it was, it's a moment that I won't forget. And I don't think any of us will either.
Absolutely right. Beautifully said. Yeah, I mean, in terms of legacy and things like that, we'll see what Arne Slot can leave when he finally goes. I mean, hopefully that'll be in a long time, because as Dave from Dave LFC Chat said on the last episode, Nigel, he's only got 2 years left on his deal. So, Richard Hughes, the spendthrift, maybe he doesn't even need to make any more signings this summer. All he has to do is get Arne to sign up, enrage all of the trolls online, and then just win the league again next year. Because that's got to be a concern. Well, not a concern, but that's got to be high on the agenda, is getting Arne signed up for at least an extra 2 years. So he's staying for at least another 4 years, right, Nigel?
Yeah. It's like you said earlier on, continuity. You want to see, like you said, 1 year, and he's won, as Bill Shankly said, our bread and butter. This is the one that matters. Above every other trophy, I don't care what people say. The bread and butter is the Premier League trophy, the First Division, the old First Division trophy. That's what matters most. And in one season, he has annoyed every other fan base more than beyond belief. It's not just about us winning the title. It's about the rest of the league's fan base being up in arms about how bad this league has been and looking for feeble excuses why Liverpool have run away with this league and why it's a dodgy league and stuff like that. Well, lads, I'm sorry. It's not dodgy. It's by no means... It wasn't easy. We just made it look easy at times. So, no, we want them signed up. We want the good players to stay. The less rocking the boat, the better. We want, we want our good guys, our good players, our spine to stay there for the next few years. And the man who holds the tiller to deliver more.
Absolutely. The thing, Faye, with the question that some people are asking is, how long can Liverpool go on for after the match? Jason McAteer and Phil Thompson were talking about how there's a lack of rotation, and they were saying that that meant that Liverpool have sort of lacked energy in the past few games and things like that. And I see where they're coming from, but I also watched an interview with Arne Slot on the Men in Blazers channel on YouTube last week, or even just a couple of days ago. And it was very interesting because it was an interview with Arne Slot, and he was just talking about that very thing, because the reason why he doesn't rotate like Jurgen or like many other managers is that he has seen a lot of research talking about how football teams are successful, and that is to get them playing together as long as possible and as often as possible, because that actually leads to better results. So how long can we sustain playing the same players time and time again? Because I've actually got the minutes in front of me on the screen, and even before today's match, you had Alisson, Luis Diaz, Szoboszlai, Alexander-Arnold, Robertson, Konate, McAllister, Gravenberch, Salah and Van Dijk. That's 10 players who had all played over 2,000 minutes. And then you had players like Joe Gomez, Connor Bradley, Kwanzaa, Elliott, Endo, Chiesa, who had all played under 700 minutes all season in the Premier League. So over 2,000 minutes for the first 10 that I said, and less than 700 minutes for the last. So there's a massive disparity. So this is just something that we're going to have to get used to. That's how Arne Slot plays, is continuity, same team every week as much as possible. And avoiding injury is something that he's been able to do, which is incredible. But can we continue this, Faye? I mean, is this something that other players going to be knackered next year, or what's going on?
Well, it depends, because I mean, it depends about what motivates them. This is what I always say: what motivates sports people, not just footballers. Now we know with Salah, he was desperate to get the Ballon d'Or this year, but because we're not in the Champions League, I don't know. Will he get it? Probably not. So that might be a good thing for us, because he'll want to go and score 20 plus goals next season. We know when we look at the squad of players, they're all international players as well. That's another thing we've got to think about with, the World Cups and things coming along. It's very difficult, but we did say, didn't we, a couple of weeks ago, that we do need to look at a proper number 9, we said, because we don't think, sadly for Nunes, he's going to be there long. And I think Nigel said a couple at the back. You wanted 2 more at the back and midfield. So if we get those strong players in, then I think we've got a great squad still. Yeah, next season's going to be fantastic, because, I think they'll want to go one better with the Champions League and the Prem next season. That's providing, like you said, they all keep fit and we can spend some money on some really good players. I don't see... The one thing, we are very lucky, we've got a lot of captains in the Liverpool team. That's what a lot of other teams haven't got. We're all, you look at Mo Salah, Szoboszlai, Alisson, even Trent. They're all... Trent is vice captain, but we've got a lot of our players. Robbo's the captain of Scotland. I think that really helps when we look at... you were talking about the other teams that aren't doing so well. We've got leaders.
Captain of Japan.
Yeah.
Konate has captained France.
Yeah. So we've got leaders, and that makes a huge difference when you compare it to the Arsenals, who have got young players, or poor Man United that are suffering. They haven't got many leaders in their team, and we have got leaders, and I think that's why we've done so well. The word resilience you use, Owen, because of our leaders.
That's a great point, and I think it's so brilliant that Salah and Van Dijk have signed for that very reason. A player we haven't really spoken about today, Shane, is Cody Gakpo, a scorer today. A beautiful finish through that gap right into the bottom corner. You wouldn't tell it was his first goal for 10 games, would you? But even though it was his first goal for 10 games, that's 10 appearances. That's not minutes. He's been working his way back to fitness. But he's got 17 in all competitions this season, which is very, very commendable. I mean, it's not outrageous, but it's extremely good nonetheless. As a supporting role to Mo Salah, he might end the season on 20 goals in all competitions, and that's all we can ask for our left winger, surely. What did you make of Cody Gakpo today, or what do you make of Cody Gakpo in general?
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, you say 17 goals isn't an outrageous number, but of those 17 goals, the majority of them are like outrageous shots from outside the box. They're just always these rockets that he sends into the top corner, and he's just such a great finisher. And there was a time when Luis Diaz couldn't break into the starting 11 on that side, and so we would see him more popping up to replace Jota in a striking and a number 9 role, a more false 9 role. So yeah, Cody Gakpo today seems, whenever he's hungry, whenever he's goal hungry, he's always trying to prove himself. And today, the scuffed finish that he sometimes can pull off is what he did today. And I was quite happy with him getting his goal. He's also someone that instantly improved with Slot. As soon as Slot came in, he's someone that really brought the best out of Cody Gakpo.
Yeah, totally. What have you seen though, Shane? Like, why? How has he improved for you?
Yeah, in terms of what we've seen in terms of consistency, his finishing, his play, cutting in from that side on the left-hand side, cutting into the center seems to be his strong suit. And I don't remember him doing that too much under Klopp. I believe tactically he was always coming back more and it was more about the left fullback coming forward with Robertson or Tsimikas coming forward and putting into a cross. So it's nice to see that tactically that he seems to have benefited pretty greatly, and I think we see that in the numbers as well. I don't have his goals and assists from last year in front of me, or maybe his XG from last season, but I would imagine that it's probably quite higher.
Yeah, I'll check that for you. But in the meantime, Faye, I want to ask you about his partner in crime, who he would swap on the left with, and now he's moved into the centre, Luis Diaz. How important is it that we keep Lucho and sign him on a new deal? Because apparently he's making peanuts, or at least relative peanuts compared to the rest.
Yeah, and there's rumours that he's going to be probably looking to play in Europe as well. I love Diaz. Like I said to you the other week, I prefer him playing than Jota. I did say that, and what I'd love you to do, I mean, is give me the stats of how we compare. I know you probably haven't got them when Jota starts to Diaz, because I just think Diaz is lively. Jota's probably very clinical with finishing. He scores a lot of goals with his head. Jota, he's a real leaper and whatever. But I just think, I don't know, Jota for me has been, I don't know, something's not right with him at the minute. Maybe since he got that injury, he's not playing as good as he did when he first started. But I love Diaz, and I think he's another one we definitely need to get pen to paper. You know, he reminds me of Firmino, always exciting, lively, got full of energy, and that's what we need. And I'd be very unhappy if he left. I really would. And I think his contract's up in a year, isn't it?
I think he's got 2, but I'm not sure.
Right, okay.
I think so.
But they need to hurry up, because we can't be leaving players on 2 years anymore. We need to just get them signed, don't we?
Exactly. Alisson's another one, Nigel. Alisson's another one with only 2 years left. That's pretty scary. But before I ask you about Alisson, I have actually found the XG for Cody Gakpo last season in the Premier League only was 9.0, and he got 8 goals with 5 assists from 17 starts last season. This season, he's made 19 starts. He's got 9 goals. But his minutes he's played fewer minutes, and he scored 1 more goal. But his XG is down at around about 6.5 this season. So he's outperforming his XG this season, which is a sign.
He was playing more on the left this season. He was more down the middle last season as well.
Yes, that's a very good point as well. Yeah, but so, you would expect his XG to go down a little bit because he's out wide, but he's also he's more clinical this season. But yeah, he's just someone who just looks like he's improving, and unfortunately, I don't have stats for which team plays better with certain individuals compared to other individuals. And I wish there was a site that I knew that I could go to for that, because it's a great stat to be able to have if you can do that. So if anyone knows that, koponpodcast@gmail.com. Nigel, Alisson's only got 2 years left. I've put him on the screen celebrating. After the match, they interviewed him on LFC TV. He seemed to me, he was talking about how emotional it was, but it was like there was a sense of like he might have offers from elsewhere, and seriously, this might be his swan song. I really hope that's not the case. Earlier in the season, when Kelleher was in the team and doing well, I was like, well, maybe we won't miss Alisson all that much. But since Alisson came back from his injury, especially, his form has been sensational. And I really want us to keep him, Nigel. I mean, every player's got their price, but his is like, it's beyond Neymar for me. It's like 250 million. I don't know. What do you reckon, Nigel?
How can you not miss the best in the world? Exactly. And he is. He's the best in the world. There is no doubt whatsoever that, like you said, Alisson Becker is the best goalkeeper in the world, without a shadow of a doubt.
That is his middle name. And I love the way his name's Alisson, and he's got a brother called Muriel. as well. It's like absolutely fantastic. What a great name. I don't know what Muriel's middle name is. Maybe Hercules. I don't know. But Alisson, yeah, he's been sensational. So yeah, let's keep our fingers crossed that we can. I mean, but let's say, for example, chucking an idea out there. Let's say Saudi Arabia, he wants a change. He wants the sun. I don't know. He loves the desert. He loves camels. He's always been a camel fan. And so Saudi Arabia, they offer £150 million. Now, that's unrealistic. £100 million for Alisson Becker. 100 million's a lot. Would you take that, Nigel?
No, I tell them they're being unrealistic and offer 250 million.
Yeah,
you're not getting them. No,
exactly. That's what I would say. What do you reckon, Faye?
I don't think he'd take it because Mo was offered double that, and he said that wasn't about the money. And Alisson loves Liverpool. We know that. I'll never forget that moment when he went up and scored that goal, and he just lost his dad. You know what I mean? And that's what he was thinking about today. Look, Dad, I've got a proper Prem, because sadly we called the other one. Yes, it was a proper Prem, the pandemic one, but it didn't feel the same to me when we were lifting that trophy. It just felt a little bit of an anticlimax because of what had happened. The season had stopped, and then we restarted, and then we won it, and then we lost quite a few games after that because there was no spectators. But this one is proper, and I think that's why Alisson broke down today, because he knew this was the one for his dad.
That's beautifully put. I think you may well be right there. What do you reckon, Shane? Do you reckon he can be persuaded to stay? Do you reckon he's secretly a sort of what do they call it? Naturist? Is that are they the people who are naked on the beach, or are they the ones who study nature? I always forget. You know what I mean, Shane? Maybe he's a camel lover. He reads up and writes scientific papers about camels, and none of us have realised.
So you were talking about the nudes then, yeah?
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't know what he does with the camels, but maybe he just studies them and he wants to move to Saudi Arabia. I don't know.
I'm not too worried about him. I'm more so worried about our club offering him a contract extension at all. Like, I'm worried that they will just let it run out as if what we've seen earlier this season. So yeah, I do think that he would stay given the opportunity. I don't think, to answer your question, I don't think the money would dissuade him would persuade him either way. But yeah, I really do think that it's kind of up to the club to say, hey, here's a contract to show you what you are worth to us and how much we do appreciate you and what you do for us. Because, I mean, he is up there with Ray Clements in my mind.
Totally. But this team moving forward, we just got to enjoy this, don't we? This is just such a beautiful feeling. We've got it over the line, winning the league. Alisson, hopefully, I mean, this is the time to offer contracts. This is when the emotions are high, when you know when it all means. You know what it all means. It all makes sense when it all, on days like today, doesn't it? Where, this is what we've been hoping for. This, that it's real, that we can touch it. This trophy, this thing that we've worked so hard for. But yeah, I want to keep going through some of the players before we do chip off, because they all deserve mentions. I thought Harvey Elliott was particularly great. I loved it. It gave me so much pleasure, Faye, that watching Harvey today, because he had his socks rolled down. He was sort of like I don't know, a bit like a sort of Argentinian flair player, one of those kind of brilliant technicians that they have in Argentina. And, and the way that he sort of mocked Richarlison, I always forget whether they call him the pigeon or the hen or whatever. I call him the rooster because it's a polite way of saying he's a cock, excuse me. But anyway, the rooster, he was mocking Richarlison. And it was that was a fun moment. What do you reckon to Harvey? Has he got a future in this team?
I worry. I worry about players like Harvey, because any other team, you think if he was playing for Spurs, if he was playing for Newcastle, if he was even possibly playing for Chelsea, he'd be starting. And that's
They
the
build their
worry.
team around him, absolutely.
This is the worry with players that we have, like Harvey coming off the bench. You know, he's not really getting a lot of I don't know, his minutes would be interesting. Was he one of the 2, 3? What was his minutes? I didn't hear you mention him, but I don't know. You know,
He was, yeah, I'll tell you exactly. So this is just in the Premier League.
Yeah.
Before today's match, he had, would you believe, 184 minutes all season. 184. That's the equivalent of 2 games.
And this is it. And I know that. And exactly. And this is what worries me. And how's Harvey going to get better if he's not playing, you know, 1,000 minutes? And like I said, if he was in any other Premiership team, and I will tell you that, he would be starting. Because like you said, he's got the energy. He's not afraid. I mean, he came on today. He wanted to score desperately because you could see he was going for shots that he probably could have laid off. But he's a great player and he's young and I think he'll get better. But is he a player that might have to move on to get better? It's a shame because I can't see him starting before the other 3 that we've got. Do you see what I'm saying, in that midfield? So that's the problem we've got, you see. But
it's a tactical thing. I mean, Michael Owen was talking about Mo Salah's position and how he doesn't track back because of that. There is this massive hole. I mean, Michael Owen wasn't talking about that, but because Mo Salah doesn't track back, there is a massive hole that Szoboszlai. We need Szoboszlai with his incredible engine to cover, like, basically 80 meters of the pitch.
And has Mo always, all his career, played on the right? Is he as a winger?
He's but Mo under Jurgen used to track back a lot and help out.
Yeah, but
now he doesn't need to.
The amount of goals someone like Mo scores as a winger, would he score more if he was in the main player?
Would he score more
if he was like a number 9?
Yeah, no, that's a really good idea.
No,
and
I'm
then
just saying.
we'll have Harvey on the right to Mo Salah.
Yeah. That's me saying, because I don't know why Mo can't, because he's brilliant. I mean, God, he's just incredible on the wing. He might score 40 if he was a number 9. I don't know.
Depends, but then we're lacking a bit of pace, though. You know, that from all 3 attackers should have good pace. And
that's
Harvey
what Nunes
have
has got. No, Harvey hasn't, but Nunes has, and he's the one again who sits on the bench. If we're talking about people that don't get a lot of minutes, what was Nunes's minutes? How's he going to get better? Was he under the same? Was he the same as Harvey? Nunes.
Yeah, Nunes is on more, significantly more, 1,000 minutes before today, 1,010 minutes before today, with 5 goals and 2 assists in the Premier League. But did you see his tweet, Faye?
No, I haven't seen his tweet.
He was a silly boy. Nigel, you saw it, didn't you? Darwin's tweet. He deleted it very quickly.
What was it, sorry?
Doug shared it. Yeah, it was, I'll try and find the exact words, but it was along the lines of, it was just basically expressing frustration that he hadn't played, even especially after he played 1 game and he did extremely well in that game, or so Darwin thought, and he didn't get played in the next game, and that really
I remember that.
pissed him off.
I remember that game.
So so I don't know if I'll be able to find the exact quote. Sorry, but Nigel, what did you make of that? I thought that was silly from Darwin. I mean, he deleted the tweet immediately. Is he a gunner?
I think so. There's just not enough output, I'm afraid. And just to go back to the Harvey thing, I like Harvey, but I think he's gone.
On loan or
no,
forever?
No, forever. I think we had a chat earlier on, Owen. Now this is all pie in the sky like stuff, but we were supposedly being linked with your man Hyson at Bournemouth, Semenyo at Bournemouth, and Kirkes at Bournemouth. And Bournemouth are supposed to be looking at Queeveen Kelleher, Ben Doak and Harvey. So how are we feeling? Let's just say your 3 players for our 3 players, plus some money. How are we feeling?
As a thought experiment, I'm going to go for it. I'm going to say I love Harvey. I'm going to say adios.
But I'm with Nigel. I would go for it because Harvey doesn't play anyway. If he's only got how many minutes did you say?
180 odd.
Well,
Yeah.
there you go. That's like he's not a player anyway. He's not. So he's not going to be a loss, is he?
It's true. No, Semenyo has 9 goals and 4 assists in the Premier League this season, playing
There you
off
go.
the right. He's 25 years old.
Yeah.
So he's a good age for us, and he's tricky. He scored a great goal against Man United earlier today. Where would you stand on that, Shane? That sort of swap deal?
Swapping with who?
Hussein, or Hyson, the defender, the young defender from Bournemouth.
Semenyo and
Perkes and Semenyo for Harvey Elliott, Kelleher.
Trent Alexander, or no, not Trent. Queven Kelleher and Ben Doak.
Well, yeah, in this hypothetical situation, yes, I guess I would take it, but I do really like Harvey. I do appreciate him a lot. I love that strike he did against PSG, and that didn't require very many minutes. But again, yeah, I agree. Do you think part of here's a question. Do you think part of his minutes has to do with Slot wanting to keep the consistency of the starting 11 and then just only having the other rotation players play less than half of those minutes, or is this another reason besides just basic rotation?
Well, no, he's just in this interview I saw. He was just like, well, the data says you've got to do what you've got to stick with the same team as much as possible, because the more they know each other, the more they are able to react in quicker to each other and anticipate what the other people are doing, basically. And statistically, your team's going to do a lot more if the players know each other better.
And that would be true to basketball, Shane. In America, you very rarely see them. Their starting 5 is starting 5. You can predict the starting 5 for Lakers, the Bulls, Philly. Your starting 5. The others are just number 6s or 7s. You'd never mess around with that because it's continuity. And I agree. Football should be the same. You should be able to shut your eyes and know where Mo is, or shut your eyes and know where, any of the midfield players are. Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, I'll tell you what, we've been talking for roughly an hour and a half, and I would love to but I need to go. I need to go and let this feeling of immense joy bubble away. But I do have one final question for you. I've seen a few banners and a few people on social media and the likes saying "back on our perch" in reference to, of course, Sir Alex Ferguson, or I'm not going to call him Sir until Bob Paisley's knighted. So I'll just call him Alex Ferguson. Saying, famously, we're going to knock Liverpool off their perch, and lo and behold, he did it. They got to 20 league titles to our 18. It's now 2020. But for me, we're not back on our perch yet until we get 21. The beautiful red strawberries that I got, and I fed them to my son, gave him his first ever strawberry, because it's beautiful strawberries already. In April, this is like Liverpool. The joy has come early this year. Fed him this beautiful red strawberry, and he bit into it, and he looked at me with the intensity that only an almost 2-year-old can give anybody. And he just looked at me and looked me right in the eye, and he said, "More." And this is what I want from these league, and this beautiful plump strawberry that Arne Slot is growing here. So basically, Nigel, are we back on our perch, or do we have to wait for 21? Because I'm going to wait till 21 before I'm saying that.
I don't like saying stuff that some manager or some other team said. We're the champions. We're the champions this year. Let's go win it again. That's what Bob Paisley always said. What's your that's Bob Paisley? What do you want to do now? Win it next year.
There you go. Nigel's already thinking about travel plans for August, the new season. Exactly. Very good stuff. Great answer, Nigel. What about you, Faye? Where do you stand on it? Are we back on our perch, or do you just disregard anything anyone else says?
I'm just pleased that, like I said, we are up there with 120, and like Nigel said, let's do 21. Let's do back-to-back. Back-to-back would be great. Yeah.
I love it. We're all thinking, the ambition. I want to give me 30. What about you, Shane?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely am very prone to falling into being like any sort of like hyperbole of that nature. So I'm gonna be like, yeah, we're back on our perch, knock us off. Blah. So I will be very obnoxious and gratuitous for us all. But Faye,
Excellent.
I love how whenever you join, you said you're like, all right, I only have 5 or 10 minutes. This has been great, and now here we are, an hour and a half.
This
I
is
love
it. I mean, honestly, I'm right in the middle of the square, Covent Garden Square, so they're all out
So
there
jealous.
partying. So I'll be out there in a minute. Don't you worry. The
Yeah,
night is
great.
young.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for spending the pre-drink time or whatever people call it with us, because it's delightful to have you with us as ever. Thank you so much,
Thank
Faye.
you.
Loved
Thank
hearing
you.
your views, and I loved hearing from you as well, Shane, and from you, Nigel, and whoever you are, wherever you are listening to this or maybe watching this, because I am going to upload this on YouTube. Just enjoy in your own way, you know. We've got replica trophies here on Kop On, but you've got the real deal that's going to be in Virgil van Dijk's hands at the end of the season. We're going to get guards of honor coming out of our ears.
I think
And
we'll
we
have
just
about
got to-
4, won't we? Will we
I
have
think
4?
we will,
Oh,
yeah.
Because there's
4
4
guards of
matches, and
honor.
I'm at the Brighton game as well.
Oh,
Oh,
fantastic!
that's gonna be good.
So I'll actually see the champions play. So that'll be massive. That'll be great. Yeah.
And that'll be a
Wonderful.
competitive match.
For Brighton, yeah, because they'll need to win that one.
Right.
Yeah.
And you have to give us a scouting report on Baleba, because he's my dream signing for the summer. But thank you so much for joining
Thank
me,
you.
our wonderful guests today. Thank you to the listener, to the dear, sweet, adored listener, and the viewer on YouTube as well. Do get in touch if you like. koponpodcast@gmail.com. You'll never walk alone. And Liverpool are finally, we're able to say it definitively, the champions of the 2024-25 Premier League season. We'll see you soon.